Hello everyone, Gabriel here, and as you can see we're in Kaer, out of all places. I've played yesterday this sequence, and it's a blast, to be honest. I never expected that we'll see this side of the Witcher, Witcher's Stronghold and Witcher's Light. I do know where Ciris is after this sequence. I have a save there, but there are things I want to talk about slightly when you have the obviously the gameplay of the game accompanying us here. Witchers, as some of you might probably know from my Witcher Lore series, they are a kind of a unique take on how a human can perceive his own destiny. And in this sequence here, we actually found two very different ways of looking at this problem. The first one is obviously Lambert, and the other one is Eskel. Lambert and Eskel, they do happen to be presented in the first game. If you play The Witcher 1, most possibly know these two, and if you play The Witcher 3, because a lot of people jumped on the Witcher wagon, if I can use this kind of paraphrase, when they played Witcher 3 for the first time. And I have to say, this just is great. Phenomenal way of portraying people in the same kind of profession, because being a Witcher is actually a profession rather than or well, you know, you're defined by this by being a Witcher. And to be honest, the way Eskel and Lambert interact differently, just phenomenal. And now I'm trying to find Yennefer, and I would like to find Lambert first, because Lambert is out of the Witchers, from the Witcher school of the Wolf. He's this rather a loner, you know. He doesn't like people, more or less, or he tries to be kind of a cynical guy who doesn't exactly think of himself as a witch, as Geralt is in most of the situations. Plus, this whole place is actually very similar to the Witcher Stronghold Kaer as it was presented. We have Lambert there, as it was presented in the first game, and that I have to praise. They recreated this whole place.
Damn it.
And here he is. I've played with him. This is not the first time you meet him, because there is a quest involving him that you can do in a previous part of the game. So let's talk with Eskel. Sorry, Lambert.
What's this? Brewing potions?
Kind of.
No. Booze from potato peels.
For my welcome back feast?
Actually more like my farewell feast. Haven't heard? Madame Sorceress has requested I fortify the phylactery with power from the Circle of Elements. Says it's essential to lifting the curse from that monstrosity of yours.
Nice. You don't sound thrilled about that, don't you?
Don't sound too thrilled about all this.
I'm
Yeah.
not. You know the trek to the Circle's no walk in the park. In more ways than one.
Let me go with you.
Well,
Yes.
might have more spring in my step with the famous White Wolf at my side. So, you ready?
Maybe not yet.
Gotta take care of something. Wait for me.
Sure.
One other thing I want to actually mention with all this sequence here. Yeah, we found Lambert, and we'll... Oh, okay. It's like we don't have much other things to do, but I would like to deal with this quest again to see how Yennefer actually reacts before, see how it differently plays. I have also, I think I've said that before, maybe not, I don't know. The English language version has no comparison to Polish language version, and that's period, actually. Believe me, the way the Polish language version is created is just outstanding because of one specific thing. The vulgarisms. The way this game puts vulgar words to almost 90% of the conversations, it's just blazing. And it's like, you know, 5 minutes after 10 minutes, and then 5 minutes again, and I need to take a break for a minute because the dialogue is so hilarious.
God damn it, you piece of shit!
This doesn't... For example, this line she just said has no comparison to how it sounded in the Polish language version.
Damned crystal!
You decided
Nice.
to blow us up?
Geralt, I'm sorry, but I'm in no mood for jests.
What's eating you?
Let me think. That
Ah.
was the third crystal to explode. It's been a week, and Lambert's still not done what I've asked. Vesemir spitefully insists on repairing the wall just beneath my window and starts hammering at the crack of dawn, while Eskel seems to have gone mushroom picking, not forktail hunting.
The guys. Well, they're not exactly happy with you.
Why is that?
Because you aren't willing to say what you're planning. You're treating them like pages, not including them. Us, actually, because I feel that way too.
Boom!
I shall explain everything when the time is right. First, we must finish our preparations.
If you say so. I ended up with Team Yen because, well, she was the first sorceress I actually met in this game. Long story short, I decided to go to Skellige before I went to Novigrad in my first playthrough, so I did quests with Yennefer first, and at that time it was obvious that that makes sense. With all the quests that we did there, and basically how I played Geralt. Plus, there is no way for you to get Triss and Yennefer at the same time, which makes sense because these are strong, independent women. And they need a man like Geralt, right? Whether you say this. As I understand, if you say to both of them that you love them, you will end up with neither. So. And when it comes to me personally, at this point, when I think about it, I would most possibly choose Triss if I'd be presented with a choice on a differently. Like, you know, the game pushes you to actually go to Novigrad first, and then to go to Skellige Island. Difficult choice, but whether you want a romance with Geralt romance, one of them, you need to choose. So, to be honest, I think, and I always had a soft spot for Yennefer, to be honest. Well, it's a difficult problem, because sometimes it's a difficult choice, and let's be honest here, it's very difficult to say who of the two you think is more suitable for Geralt, but at the same time, both of these characters are extremely well written. Whether, you know, a gamer in me... Oh, yeah, I know how to say this. The gamer in me wants to play Geralt as a Triss-loving character. So a gamer in me is rather Team Triss, if I can use that hashtag comparison. And at the same time, the reader in me, the guy who read all the books and had a sort of my own vision of Yennefer and Geralt's story, and how Sapkowski presented it in the books, says that whether it's Triss or Yennefer is actually irrelevant to some point. And to be more precise, in the books, Geralt loves Yennefer, and that's undisputable, to be honest. And the last thing I want to say here concerning this topic, it's actually the way I did this in the game looks really, really well, because if you talk with Triss and you dissect the whole situation you're in with her, it's actually really well done, because she thinks that the chance Geralt and Triss had kind of slipped away. So she's in peace with herself and her emotions as much as that's possible, at least during the time where when she leaves. The sequence with the final quest when you're trying to save the mages and she goes with them to Kaer. That sequence is heartbreaking to some degree, but also has this kind of, how to call it, kind of a peace in it. So like, you know, we are still our relationship from a love relationship transformed to a very deep and sincere friendship, something like that.
You got trust issues with us?
No. Actually, I fear you don't trust me. So I'd rather keep certain things secret, for the time being.
Pretty tortured logic.
I like this.
That way now, but you'll understand in time.
Just look at the mimic in her face. Okay, I heard what you did with the bed, concerning the topic I just mentioned.
Heard about the bed. Really prefer to sleep on the floor? Wouldn't recommend it. That stone can get awfully chilly.
Frankly, I prefer a chill to bedding littered with red hair.
So upset about Triss, you gotta take it out on the furniture?
Would you prefer I take it out some other way? Geralt, I don't want to seem like a vindictive shrew, but that very bed is where you just happened to fuck a dear friend of mine.
Yeah,
Yes, I know.
that was...
You've lost your memory. Whatever. Let us agree that I will refrain from scolding you, while you will stop mentioning that stupid bed. Agreed?
Fine.
Agreed.
Splendid. On to more pressing matters.
Okay. Well, even considering what we did with the genie on Skellige Islands, the relationship between those two will not change, at least not so quickly.
Fine. What do I do?
Firstly, help Eskel and Lambert. One was supposed to get me forktail spinal fluid, the other was to fortify the phylactery with elemental power. I've yet to see anything from either of them.
Alright, I'll talk to them. Anything else?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
There's one other trifling matter. As you saw, my megascope's acting up, in rather spectacular fashion.
Boom!
I'm certain there's an energy source nearby, generating
yeah, you know,
disturbances, making
the
the
crystals
malfunction.
are exploding.
We must find it and neutralize it. Quickly, I must contact someone. It's urgent.
Fine. How do I do that?
Alright. How do I find the source?
Use this Potestaquizitor.
Potestaquizitor.
Potestaquizitor? Sounds fancy. Complicated.
Not
Yet
really.
It's ever so simple. Grasp it firmly, move it around, and the louder it squeals, the closer you are.
Fine.
Spare me your juvenile wit, please. Well, what are you waiting for?
That's a nice one. And plus a very funny quest awaits us.
Ah, one more thing.
That is...
Thank you, Geralt.
Nice! She is really well done as a character. Even if she does not have... even if she does not have... Potestaquizitor. Fine. Even if she does not have this interesting
Nothing here.
Triss's background in the games as much as Triss does. And here we are a little bit later. I don't want to spoil the fun because I highly recommend you play this game, obviously. We're with Avallach, the man who was cursed, and we want to ask him a question. What does the Hunt want from her? Mainly Ciri, obviously.
The Hunt. What's it want from Ciri?
Her blood. Elder blood. To open the gate.
Gate. But he said gate with not a capital letter, which means it's not a... It's a gate, not the gate. We know that much. Okay, where's the Island of Mists then?
Isle of Mists. Where is it?
And the most drastic answer?
and nowhere.
Oh, great. That's a riddle.
Listen, Sage. We didn't lift that curse to play riddles with you.
Yvain. Arwen. Siren.
And obviously the frame rate also dramatically butchers my computer. We're playing 7. 7 frames per second now.
Skellige. Follow it into the mists. Hurry. Hurry.
Too many models, I believe, because the polygons and the architectural stuff on here is just like big, especially on the close-ups. When you have like 2 or 3 models,
to protect her.
that's very difficult.
The curse.
But you know, that's a hardware issue. Might be resolved some near future, but we never know.
Has not found the Isle as yet. 'Tis a matter of time. But if she leaves, they will detect her at once.
As far as I can say, when I process the videos on YouTube after the editing, they do get kind of, how is it? The quality boosts slightly, but it
Enough,
does.
Geralt. He's not yet free of death's grip.
Fine, woman. I'm going after Ciri, and that's the main thing we need to do.
I'm going to get Ciri.
Hold up. Don't you think you owe us some answers? How do you know this Avallac'h? What's Ciri been doing with him?
Well,
Jennifer can tell you. Just keep an eye on him. He's not a friend.
Perhaps not, but Ciri apparently trusted him. We should at least take his words seriously.
I think we take words seriously,
You heard what he
more or
said.
less.
Take Ciri from that Isle of Mists, and the hunt will pick up her trail immediately. What then?
And that's the biggest twist I really wanted here to happen. Yep, we'll be waiting. It's not like we have a choice. We need to confront
We'll
them.
be waiting for them, swords in hand.
Yes. Time we, the hunted, became the hunters. Geralt will find Ciri and bring her here, and the hunt will follow.
And we're gonna butcher them here. Because that's a castle,
They'll
damn
expect to
it.
catch us by surprise, and they'll be sorely disappointed.
And the
We plan
music
to fight them.
turns in.
We 5 in a crumbling castle.
We have a sorceress and a bunch of guys who are really, really
Do we have
fine.
a choice, besides delaying the inevitable?
And so here we
Pretty
are.
boy could try to round up a few others who know how to swing a sword.
Or wield magic.
Nice, that's the spirit, people. Yeah, I'll gather allies, and then
I'll
that
get
means
Ciri,
the confrontation.
recruit some allies.
we have the
Over here.
destination
Everything I can
in the
call
future. Makes sense.
Any good-looking women in that batch?
He's a womanizer
Exclusively.
for you. Fine.
And you? What do you plan to do?
I've Avallac'h to care for. He's certain to die without gentle, gradual magic treatment. There's hope if I help him. Not much, but better than naught.
Oh, her hands are really well when it comes to.
The boys and I'll consider how we should greet our uninvited guests.
Although we will invite them to some degree.
Alright. Time I was on my way.
Good luck, Wolf, and give Cirilla our love.
Oh,
Come back
fine.
quickly, Geralt.
Okay, so thank you for staying here with me and watching the video. I hope you enjoyed my rambling a little bit, plus a few things I was able to present, whether it is my opinion or just the gameplay. Kaer, a place that is Geralt's home to some degree. Whether you consider this place a home, whether he considered this place a home, it's a place that is most important for him. Okay, thank you for your time, and as you can see, the game now pushes us into Novigrad, back to Velen, back to Skellige, not only for Ciri but also to gather allies, and that's what I'll be doing most possibly in the upcoming sessions, also intertwined and mixed with the quests that I still have left, and there's quite a lot of them. Just let me show you. Yep, like this. Collect them all. Novigrad. I'll have to play Gwent. Maybe this time around I'll have the basically the motivation to learn that freaking game, because I try to focus my display through more or less on the story. So thank you for this part, and hope to see you next time. And keep eye open for more activities on the channel, so I hope to boost them a little bit with some smaller gameplay, plus a little bit of streaming. I need to stream because I love streaming actually. I forgot how fun it can be, especially when you have like more than 5 to 7 people who are watching. Ciao!